Hi, friends. So the other day, I saw something that really bothered me on the news, something deeply disturbing. And I jumped on Instastory to riff on it. And my team and I thought it'd be really good to share this content on my podcast and on my YouTube. So here we are. So here's what I want to say about this. So of course, manifestation is real. Of course, you have massive, awesome responsibility for how you create your life. And as we know, our inner world is reflected into our outer world all the time. So you know that you can change things that are going on internally inside of you and receive more of those things on the outside of you. We talk about this with business, clients, money, influence all the time. So all of that is true, 100% true. And at the same time, there are current dynamics in the world that have been created from the internal states of many of us that have perpetuated oppression and abuse and persecution and racism and things that often white people aren't super well versed on. But if you understand manifestation, you can understand this. If many people are holding judgments and biases inside of them, that is continually reflected in all of our outer worlds. And some of those things perpetuate white privilege. And so I know this is a topic, it's sticky to talk about. It's sometimes I'm afraid of being attacked for speaking about it poorly or lacking or having ignorance in how I explain it, right? Of course, because I still have privilege. But here's what I can tell you today. I only know what it's like to be inside of me. I don't know exactly what it's like to be inside any of you. But I know that when I looked into my heart and into my life and into my thinking, there was bias and there was judgment inside of me toward other people. And there was favor inside of me toward people who look like me, talk like me, or educated like me, whatever it is. So it's important, white humans, white friends, it's important that we look at our bias, our judgment, our favor, or how we think, how we treat people, how we think about people, particularly people of color, and that we do the right thing in looking at this and shifting this inside of us and having real hard conversations in areas where we don't understand what's going on and what all of this is. I can only speak from my experience that until a white teacher in grad school sat down with a group of us in a class and was like, let's talk about judgment and privilege, that I didn't even know I was benefiting from white privilege. And then I saw it and I cried every day for a while. And since then, I haven't shied away from these conversations. So we're all creating the world, our inner world and the outer world. And we all have a massive opportunity to design our lives the way we want it and to create a more beautiful, loving, fair world for all people. Okay, so here we go. Here's my Instastory rant repurposed for my podcast and for YouTube. I love you guys. This is important work. This is real work. This is sometimes really hard and emotional work. And you can do it. You can do it. And it is worth looking at. I love you. So when I was buying this house, I couldn't get in. I didn't have a key. But I wanted to come be in the energy of the house. I wanted to come be around the house. I wanted to come. My pool guy starts this week. So if you can see how, just please, please ignore. Please ignore. But I wanted to come sit in the backyard and stuff. So every day, usually at night, I came here. I let myself in through the front gate. which my home automation will have a very snazzy camera on shortly. But enough about that. So I would let myself in through the gate that at that point in time I could let myself through. And I would walk around the house. I would go to the backyard. I would look in the windows. I would walk around the house. And I didn't feel afraid at all. I felt like I had no business being at this house. I didn't own it. But I didn't worry that anything bad was going to happen to me because I was here. And one day I was talking to my real estate agent, and we were in the car. And we were in front of the house, and I was like, let's just go look at something real quick. And I like ran up and started looking through the windows, and he was like, I can't look through those windows. And him being a white man, he felt like as a man, if he was looking through the windows, someone could call the cops. I felt like as a white woman, nothing was going to happen to me. But it made me think, how would a person of color feel right now? And I just started thinking about my life. If I'm driving down the street and I see a white woman looking through a window, what do I think? I think, oh, she can't get in. She lost her key. She's checking out the house. She's making sure she's in the right place. If I see a black man looking in a window, what do I think? Do I think I need to call the cops? And if that is what I think, is that a safe decision for a person? And I was like, it's absolutely not a safe decision for me to think that or for me to do that. I don't know. The problem is after I do this Instastory, I'm going to open my laptop and I'm going to get back to work and I'm going to go on with my day, like living my life, making my money, doing my business. And maybe that's what I should be doing today. But the fact that what I just want to say is that if you can turn your head, if you can turn off the news, if you can look the other way, if you cannot talk about all of this, that is privilege. I was taught in my master's program, I have a master's in counseling. I was taught that we all have bias, all kinds of bias. You could be biased against an age group, people from a certain place, gender, race. Like, people have a lot of biases. A lot of people prefer people that look like them, think like them, sound like them, are educated like them. We all have biases toward people. That's part of the human experience. And of course, we can choose love and see everyone as one and drop our bias. But I don't think we're taught to look at our bias and how we favor people and how we think of people and how we feel afraid of people and whatever it is. But not being aware of your bias and not being aware of your assumptions and think, horrible thing to say, and I hate that I'm saying it, but we have to be aware that for whatever reason, for many cops, it seems to be when they show up with a gun, if the person's not white, they're going to be more likely to fire. And if that's the situation we're in, we have to act accordingly.